guys, we are back again for my next installment of my top 5 favorites series. I hope to goodness this is the last video I film in this room, but we're not going to talk about that. I feel like exhausted that. So we are going to just hop right in. Today I'm going to talk about my top 5 favorite cream bronzers. Now, as a whole, I don't normally cream contour per se. I use bronzing products to give a little bit more of an effect of, you know, a bronzy look, either on myself or my clients. I rarely ever, and I mean rarely ever, contour on myself. However, if I feel like a client needs a little bit of an extra contour after my cream products are set, then I will go in with a powder contour product. I just rarely use a cream contour product, and a lot of times I won't even use a powder. Like 75 to 80% of my business is in the bridal industry, and if you are in that industry, or if maybe you're not aware, most of the time people who are getting their makeup done for a wedding either A, don't wear much makeup, or B, want to look just like a better version of themselves. They don't want to change their face shape. So it's very rare that I will use an actual contour product or do extreme contouring on my client. Now, if I have like a photo shoot or something that I'm doing where it's a specific look, then yes, I will use, but I do mostly contour with powders in that case. So all that to say that most of the items, no, all the items I'm talking about today are actual cream bronzing products, cream and or liquid. I know this is my top 5. I do have 6 items today. 2 of them live in my kit, so I'm going to save those to the very last, which only leaves 4 favorite cream bronzers for my personal use. So even though I'm kind of cheating by putting an additional one in there, I feel like I'm kind of making up for it because I only have 4 when it comes to what I personally use. So let's get right into it. So let's just start with what I got here, and I'm going to save my personal favorite for last, and then I'll talk about the 2 that I carry in my kit at the very end. So let's just get started. These 2 that I'm first going to talk about are ones that are better suited for me when I am not self-tanning, I don't have any color on me, and it's kind of the winter time. It's just they're either a little less pigmented, or they're just lighter in color than I need, or they're just lighter in color, which is what I need when I'm a little bit more fair. The first one is the Milk Makeup Baked Bronzer, and this is just called Baked. No, it's their matte bronzer, and the color is Baked. I don't even know if they have different colors or not. I feel like they only have one color. So if you are my color right now or darker, this is not going to work for you, but I also have an additional one of these in my kit that I do use on my more fair clients because it is a perfect color in my opinion. I will be swatching all of these, but keep in mind they are going to be swatched on a self-tanned hand. So, you know, take it for what it is. It's going to look a little bit different on everybody's skin. Now, this is a stick, and it is a solid cream that you can roll up and down. I've talked about this a lot before when I actually used these products or this product in another tutorial. I don't like to draw it on my face, and I certainly don't do that with my clients, but I found that after trying that a couple times, it just didn't blend out. It placed the pigment too much where I wanted it, and it didn't blend out as good. So I'll take my favorite contouring or cream bronzing brush, which is the IT Cosmetics Heavenly Luxe Complexion Perfection No. 7 brush. It's the dual-ended one. And I will take that and I will dip it directly into the product and then tap it on my face where I want to add the bronze color. I just find that it works a lot better that way. It's easier to manipulate, but I will swatch this. And this, keep in mind, this is a heavy swatch because I do want it to show up. But that, to me, is such an amazing bronzing color. It's neutral, it does not pull warm, and it doesn't pull too cool, which to me, if you're kind of in between the skin tones, if you don't have a lot of yellow in your skin, or you know, you definitely don't have a lot of pink, you want to kind of go for this because we're talking about cream bronzers, we're not talking about cream contours, so you don't necessarily need to look for something that has a gray undertone to it. This is so perfectly neutral that it just looks natural and perfect on the skin. I really do adore this. I obviously loved it enough to purchase a separate one for my kit. Now this one is another one that doesn't, I mean, I can pull it off now, but it really just kind of blends into my skin tone right now. And it's the NARS Liquid Laguna Bronzer. When I first got this, I didn't like it. And I think it's because I had a little bit more color in my skin at the time, and I just felt like it didn't show up. But then once I got into my, you know, fall, winter, fairer self, I realized that it is really nice. It is so lightweight. It's the lightest weight of any that I'm going to talk about. You do not feel it on your skin. It is very liquidy, which kind of leads to the lightweight texture of it. But you can see how it's running down my hand. This one is, I mean, when you put it up against that milk, you're going to see how much warmer it is. That's the NARS right there. And I hope this is, let me see if I can get it to, that's the NARS. You can see it even has a little bit more of a sheen to it. And then that's the Milk Matte Bronzer. So this one, it really is very matte compared to this one. So it does stand up to its name. This one does not have shimmer or sheen in the name, and it doesn't have shimmer in it. It's just a little bit more of a satin finish. Super easy to use. If you are a cream or liquid bronzer novice, this might be the one you want to reach for because it is so liquid and blendable that it's really hard to mess up. So again, that's the NARS Liquid Laguna. Another one that is so like not necessary for y'all to go out and get. I just wanted to try it. I bought it and I like it. So it is the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate, and this is in the Intensity 1. And it's got both a highlight and a cream bronzer, cream contour color. I have seen people say they contour this. There is no way you're going to contour with this color. If you see, I mean, I say that. You could. It's not shadowy enough, if that makes sense. So this is it right here. So you can see it pulls darker than the NARS and much darker than the Milk. And it is more in the neutral undertone when you swatch it versus look at it in the pan. When you look at it in the pan, that looks very warm to me. But then when you swatch it, it has more of a neutral undertone. It's another one of those products that I prefer to put the brush directly into. That's one of the reasons I don't carry this in my kit. Well, that and the price. But I dip the brush directly into it and then just stamp it onto my face. It kind of blends itself. It is really gorgeous. Again, I'm not like the biggest fan of the highlighter that comes in this. I mean, it's pretty, but it's not worth, I don't love it enough to be like, stop what you're doing and go out and buy this product. But I do really enjoy the cream contour in it, and I feel like if you have this and have maybe forgotten about it, or if you are more fair and you really do like a very subtle cream highlight, this might be something to look into. Now we're going to talk about my absolute favorite. This is the only cream bronzing product, liquid bronzing product, that I've ever finished and repurchased, if that tells you anything. It is the Armani Maestro Liquid Summer Drops. This does have SPF 15. I'm in the color 100. They have 90, 100, and 110. You can get them, I think now only, I don't know that Sephora carries them anymore. I've been getting mine, I got this one at Nordstrom, and I'm sure like Neiman's, and I know Armani. No, I got this one on the Armani site. I know the Armani site has it, but I also know, you know, Nordstrom does. I'm sure Saks and all those other places does too. This is another liquid bronzer, and it comes with a little dropper. So it is very liquid. I use probably 3 to 4 drops on my entire forehead, cheeks, jawline, and neck. You can see the consistency. It's not as runny as the NARS, but it's definitely a liquid. And that right there is the gorgeous color. It's a combination of the color and the consistency and the finish as to why this is my favorite. It is what I'm wearing today. Very easy to use. I will apply it with my fingers and then blend it out with the brush. But the color, I don't know, it's very neutral. It's just so gorgeous. When you look at all of them together, the matte has a little bit more of a pinky undertone, which I don't hate because I've said before that red and pink undertone bronzers lend more towards a natural sun color on your face, because when you get sun, if you burn, you get red. And so the, you know, undertone of a natural tan does have red or pink in it. So, you know, just I'm looking at colors contrasted against each other, and I just thought I might point that out. Oh, I don't know why I love it so much, but I do. It just works so well. It's like, I don't have to use another bronzer on top of this one. I could totally set with a translucent powder and be good to go. It works all year round on me. This color will work on me when I am the palest of pale, and it works on me now, which is probably about the darkest I get as far as like natural color and self-tan. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So if there's one out of this entire lot of bronzers that I'm talking about that I would highly suggest you try out, it's this one. I do have a friend that is just maybe a shade darker than I am, and she said she could not get this color to work for her skin, so you may want to actually find a color that, or a store that carries them so you can go swatch it, but I love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right, I'm going to keep these swatches on my hand, and I'm going to go 2 more down my arm and talk about the ones that I carry in my kit. Now, when you're talking about cream bronzing, cream contouring, cream anything, you do not have to buy a specific product marketed for that purpose. Same with concealing. You don't have to buy a concealer. Do concealers have more pigment in them? Most of the time, yes. But you can use a foundation. You don't have to use a concealer. So it's the same goes with cream bronzers and cream contours. A lot of time, you're going to pay more money if you do buy a product marketed specifically for that purpose versus using a foundation or a concealer. So the two that I carry in my kit are those things. They're a foundation and they're a concealer. Oftentimes, I won't even pull for these when I'm working on a client. I will take whatever color foundation that I am using on them, and I will pick a darker color. One to 2 to 3 shades darker depending on their original skin tone, and I will use that to cream contour. It gives the most natural finish because you're using the exact same formula all across the face. So that is something I would highly suggest doing, especially if you are used to using drugstore foundations. You're not going to break the bank going to buy a darker one. Even same goes for a concealer. You are going to have a little bit of a different consistency with a concealer, obviously, than a foundation on top of it. But if you find one that works for your skin, you may end up saving money in the long run buying a darker version of that versus something specifically for cream bronzing. So all that being said, I have quite a few. I probably have 4 or 5 different cream bronzer, cream contour products in my kit. I can think of at least 5 right now. But my 2 favorites are, this is the foundation. This is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Foundation Stick. I need to try this again for myself. I wasn't a huge fan of it when I tried a sample like a long time ago when they first launched it. But, you know, my tastes have changed. So I want to try to get on myself full face. But I do really like this for a concealer or for a cream bronzer. It is so easy to blend out. It is so easy to blend out. This is the color 177 or Y505. So this is the color right here. It's got a lot of spatula marks in it because I do not apply product directly to the face. So I'm going to take a little bit out with a spatula to show you a swatch. Now, the Y505 does lend to a little bit of a warmer undertone. However, I don't find that this is so warm that, you know, it will only work on certain skin tones. But this is it right here. I gotta work on my swatching. But this is it right here. The tiniest amount was taken off by my spatula, and it blended out to be this very large swatch. I could keep blending it out and it would still hold the same amount of pigment. Another reason I love this, because it doesn't blend into nothing. It really works on top of almost every foundation I carry in my kit. It does not separate anything. It's meant to go all over the face in the formula, and I think that's why it works so well. But again, that's the color 177 or Y505. I really, really like this for contouring, and I reach for it more than probably anything else in my kit. Now, this is the concealer that I use, and this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills concealer in the color 6.0 in the swatch. These concealers I'm not a fan of underneath the eye. I just feel like they're a little too heavy, but for contouring, I really do like them. They are very creamy, and they are easy to blend out. And I went the total wrong direction. I was like, I need to go down farther this way. No, I need to go down farther the other way. But this is it right here. So if you can see, it does have a little bit more of an olive undertone than the Makeup Forever. I think it would still work. It has a lot more of an olive undertone, actually. It almost has a green undertone, which, hence the olive. All of these have different undertones. The very, very warmest of them all is going to be the NARS Laguna. The very most neutral is going to actually be the Armani Drops. The most true to color tan is going to be the Milk Matte. The most olive is going to be the Anastasia Beverly Hills. And you know what, the Makeup Forever also has a true tan color because it does have a tiny bit, even though it says Y505, I feel like it does have a tiny bit of a pink or red undertone, which is going to work wonderfully. Like I said, all of these work wonderfully on so many people. Oftentimes I will take this with me in my kit, the Armani drops, and use those as well. So I can attest to the fact that all of these work on multiple skin types and skin tones. I don't think if you have oily skin or dry skin, you really need to stay away from any of these. Maybe the Makeup Forever stick if you have oily skin, only because it is more of a slippery pigment. But, you know, it's still worth trying. I would just suggest setting it with, you know, a regular bronzer or contour product. So those are my top 4 plus 2 favorite cream bronzer cream contours. If you have any questions, be sure to leave it down below. I know a lot of y'all have been requesting this for quite some time, so I hope it's what you were hoping for. I hope that I answered any of your questions and gave you some good suggestions on maybe where to go next for your next cream bronzer product or liquid bronzer product. If you've decided to get any of the ones I talked about, I really want to know, because I just like to know that y'all have decided to go with recommendations. Or if you have any of them, let us know how you like it. If it worked, if it didn't work. You know, we're here to chat about makeup, so let me know. Be sure and subscribe before you leave so you don't miss out on any future videos. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a very blessed day.